Welcome back to ciLiving. Ivy Santeler uses her work to connect with the world and her community. She's here today to tell you all about her artwork and how she achieves a beautiful finished product. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell me how you got started with art.
Honestly, I feel like I have always been really drawn to art. I mean, ever since I was little, I think a lot of little kids draw and paint, but I always loved it, and kind of throughout my schooling, it's been something that's always been a constant in my life, and at some point I realized, like, why not take that seriously?
Why not make it your actual
Exactly.
career? And so you make original works of art, but then you also take commissions if somebody has a specific piece in mind, and you use all different mediums, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I do commissions of all sorts. I can do full paintings, I can do watercolors, drawings, whatever someone is looking for, and I love to work with you to create a piece that is like really what you're envisioning. It makes a great gift, or if you have a space that you can imagine something being there. I love working with people to create stuff like that.
And how do you decide, if it's not a commission piece, what to paint? Like, I know today we're going to be painting this picture here. How did you decide that that's what you wanted to create?
I think a lot of it is like the visual interest of it. I really like warm colors. So with this orange piece, it's actually something that I painted back when I was around 11 years old. So I'm kind of recreating it today, kind of for fun, a little tribute to how long I've been painting, I guess. But a lot of it is the colors, and I take a lot of pictures in my life, and that inspires it. Things that I see around that I take pictures of, and then I later revisit when I'm looking to paint.
And you do something really interesting, speaking of color, which is you just pretty much paint with the primary colors and then black and white, but you mix all of your own colors. So how did you learn to do that?
I took painting lessons with a local instructor for a long, long, long time, and she was very big on that. And I'm very grateful for that, because I do think that it teaches you so much as an artist to be able to balance your own colors.
Especially because when I feel like you're not a trained artist and you try and mix colors, you mix the colors, you start painting, and if you run out, it's really hard to recreate that. So I feel like that's a really good skill.
It is a great skill.
So can you show me some painting? I know we're going to be working on that, but I also want to learn how to mix the colors properly.
Yeah, let's get started. Well, that's where we'll go. I'll give you, this brush is a little cleaner. I'll give you that one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're starting out with some very basic shapes, a super basic rectangle of black and a rectangle of brown, and some generic orange blobs.
With this kind of rectangle of whiteness in the middle.
Yep, and so what we're gonna start is we're gonna mix up what's gonna be the shadow of our oranges.
Okay.
We're gonna take some red, and then I don't really clean my brush that often, I just kind of let it be messy. And then I'm gonna grab some yellow, I'm gonna mix them together.
And how do we know how much? I guess if it's not looking orange, add more.
If it's not looking orange, if it's too red, add more yellow. If it's too yellow, add more red.
Okay.
And then to make it a shadow, it's okay if we're leaning a little towards the red side, because this is going to be our shadow, and red's a little darker than yellow.
Okay.
We're going to grab a tiny, tiny little bit of blue and mix it in.
Okay.
And that's going to give us a little bit of like a brown.
Right, I see. That made it instantly like a little bit darker.
A little darker, a little cooler. And then you can pick your own light source for your painting. If you want light coming in from the left, you can do that. From the right, it can come right from above. I wouldn't recommend from the bottom. That wouldn't really make much sense. But
okay, and then I guess once you determine where your light source is, that's going to determine where all of your shadows go, right?
So we're just going to place the shadows like opposite our light source.
Okay, so I'll just follow exactly what you're doing.
So I'm going to imagine light coming in from this side, and I'm going to place a shadow on the bottom of all of my curves.
Okay, and so I just trace the curve kind of?
Yep, and I'm going to kind of imagine, like, if there's one orange that's in front, that means that I need to account for the shape that the shadow would be behind it.
Oh, interesting. This is very, I feel like, next level when it comes to painting, because a lot of people, if you go to a paint night or whatever, it's, you know, you just kind of get the shapes and you're hopeful that your painting turns out, but this is really cool. Mine's a little bit less brown than yours, and I guess that's the other thing. Since everything is handmade, it'll all look just slightly different.
Absolutely, and like when I'm painting, I have a color in mind, and I can kind of work towards that.
Sure.
Like picking out the specific color.
And do I want to make sure that I cover all the white with the shadow?
Yes, you want to get most of it. If there's a little bit, that'll be okay, because you can always touch it up later. That's the wonderful thing about acrylic paint, is it's very forgiving.
Okay, forgiving.
It's a very forgiving medium.
Okay. All right, so I think I've gotten all of my shadows.
Okay.
Now what?
Now we're gonna make another orange, but this time, instead of having it be more red, we want it to be much more yellow. So we're gonna take some yellow
All right.
and just a little bit of red.
I see.
And we're
Okay,
gonna mix
so
it together.
depending on what shade you want, depends on whether you want the lighter color or the darker
Absolutely.
color first.
And then we're also gonna take just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of white.
All right. And then what does the white do? It just lightens the...
It lightens it, but it also makes it more opaque, and that way it will sit nicely on top of what's already there.
I see. Okay.
And then we're gonna take that color and we're gonna add some highlights. And if you put it on and you realize it's too similar to the color that's already on the canvas, we're gonna add more, which I need to do.
Do I want it dark? Like, is that...
You want it a little
right?
lighter, because this is gonna be like the highlight of our orange.
So maybe more white?
So we're gonna add a little bit more yellow.
Oh, yellow.
Yeah, I
All
always
right.
want to think of adding color before blacks and whites.
Okay.
As much as I can do with color, I want to do with color.
That's a really
before
good
adding black
tip.
and white.
Okay, so let's see, I probably should, since I accidentally added white first, I'll add a little more yellow.
And then I'm going to take it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There you go, nice.
That's really rewarding, actually, if you
It really
follow the
is.
directions.
And it's very rewarding when you like think of an image and you kind of slowly bring it out.
Right, perfect. All right, well, we're gonna keep working on this during the break, and then when we come back, we're gonna take it to the next level. ciLiving will continue in just a few minutes.